Welcome back to our part 2, Chinatown Soup Tea Club. We continue the sessions with our second tea that we're going to kind of showcase on the 5th for our sound and tea gathering at Moonrise. If you want to know more and find more tickets, you can see the link below. We had tried the Anxi Huangjinggui on our first part, and I want to show you what we're gonna do on our second part. So I think we showcase our 7581 shoe pour bricks, laser bricks from Kunming tea factories, how to break up a cakes for this 250 grams cakes from 1999, a coke pour. So we're gonna showcase this on our second sessions on our tea gathering on Sunday, the 5th, because when we had an oolong, which is quite more of a solar energy, and with that kind of like a conversation starter, we want to kind of ground ourselves back onto more grounding at night because it's late night tea sessions. So we choose a shoe pour, a cook pour, and we want to kind of like show you what's the process of brewing it and basically the idea of how to enjoy this cake. This been break up into smaller chunks. Again, we're using traditional Kung Fu style with a gaiwan. So we want to kind of break up the cake a little bit. So I'm going to divide it into 2 little blocks. And we preheated our water. So we want it to actually just sit in the rinse water for our first brewing. And let's see how it kind of sucks up the bubbles. And by the visuals of it, you can see this is already kind of in the moisturized state of the tea because it's been out kind of aerating after the storage, after a long storage. So you can see the bubble. The bubble is coming up from the dry bricks. And what you want to do is to let some of that bubbles out before we really push it into our drinking steeping. So it's still in the rinsing part of it. In Chinese term is we call wicking up the tea. Wicking up the tea have many meanings, and one of the meaning is first, you can kind of relate the tea, smell it after it gets water inside and see how it starts to express itself. You can see just maybe a drop of water inside there. You can see the coloring of that has already been extracted. So you know the tea is being brewed right now, even though there's no water visually, but the tea already absorbed the hot water, and you want to smell it. You want to see what is the status, what is the aromatic that it gives to you. For us, drinking old tea is about medicinal values. So the telltale sign of a Chinese medicine, one of those dark medicine soup that, you know, if you grew up in a Chinese household, you kind of remember that your parents force you to drink something like that, which is very bitter. But then there's a certain smell to it, which is very earthy smell of an herbal. So you want to let it sit a little bit more. And what's happening is it starts to loosening up because of the moisture and the heat. Then we're going to start to do our first brewing. We're going to do a strong water infuse. Let it roll up. When it rolled up like that, it creates bubbles. And then what you can do is to skim off the bubbles on the top. And you can see it if there's anything on the lid that have those kind of alkaline bubbles. It also carries like the dust of it. You can just skim it off. So what happened now is just to take a look of how the steam coming out from it, how the color is turning. In the bottom, you can see when you use your lid to push it, you can feel the bounciness of the tea because it absorbed water, and you can feel the extraction is coming out from it. So then we can actually start our first extractions. This is our first steep. So during the events, we're going to do a lot of music and visual arts. Of course, drinking tea. And this tea would be part 2 at the events to start grinding, no, not grinding, but grounding us back more, to Mother Nature in that sense. So this is my first brew, and you can see how potent it's already starting to be. And what you want to observe is the water. You see how this water looks like, the gloss, the vibrancy of it, that it have a life. It's not just dead water. You can see on that. And people talk about the rim color compared to the internal colors and all that kind of thing. But the most important thing is to try slurp it and taste it. So a lot of medicinal taste, herbal taste to it. Of course, there's dash of dates. People can also call some aged ginseng. And all that term doesn't really matter. The whole most important part of it is how it makes you feel, the warmth of it. So this is quite a warming and calming and centering tea. And this tea will bring up different conversations while during our sessions. And I have to say that I'm not a very good explainer while we're doing tea, explaining what it is and all that. It's more about how it feels, right? So the feeling is more important than words a lot of times. But of course, when we're doing a video like this, I need to kind of explain how things feel. So there's another way of brewing that I've been discovering, and I think I showcased this on our last episodes on our monthly tea package, that I'm letting the brew goes instead of using my ego to push every single steep with the aromatic in the body. I just kind of observe how the tea reacts to water, especially how it reacts to me, and what he is or she is kind of expressing, the softness. And a lot of times when you pour water into teacups, you will understand the state of mind that you're in. If it's very, very kind of calm and not like splashy like this, or people turn like that, you kind of see reflections of how your mind is at that point. And if you see that, if you want to correct it, then you have an opportunity to correct that state of mind. And that's the beauty of brewing the tea. So it's getting a little bit more darker. And if I'm a newbie to this, I was like, oh my God, I need to extract it immediately. But sometimes what is immediate and what is like now means, right? So I'll just let the tea goes a little bit. Open it up, most important part. Smell it. See if my extraction is over, because then I won't smell anything. Because if I open it up and there's so many fragrances, that means that the fragrance is not in the water and the body is not in the water. It's still inside the tea. So I'm not going to smell a lot of things going on, because if I extract it right, and what is right again, it should be in the brew at this point, okay? So you can see my difference of my second brew to my first one. And I'm going to give back a little bit of my second into the gaiwan. And you can see the color difference is very, very prominent on that. And does that mean that my tea asked me to get more to keep me more grounded? It could be. So let's see. It's almost drinking a meal when you have a puerh or any black tea, which is fully fermented or in a higher fermented state. And you can see the difference between the steam coming out. There's a mist coming out from the surface of the tea compared to your first one. Yeah, a lot of things to play with, a lot of things to talk to yourself about. Most of the time it's really talking to yourself, that understanding the state of mind and what your thoughts are, which is a good thing. Okay. So hopefully on that day, we will have this kind of mindset of being truthful about our state of mind, about the conversation will come naturally, without aggressions, and which is very important, and judgment, and just listen to the music, listen to the tea, listen to people's conversations, and understand it, and then we can respond to that environment. That's the goal of our meeting, to give ourselves some time to reflect with people that we want to be with and new friends that we want to make. So hopefully we'll see you on Sunday, July 5th at 9 o'clock at Moonrise. And this will be ongoing that night on sessions 2, part 2 of the events. And we'll kind of experience it all together and have a conversation together. So you can see my third brew is a little bit less in strength, because why do I need to have the third one also as strong as the second one? So it's called stages. And you can see how beautiful the color of this brew is. Let me try it. Well, I love the woodiness of it. It's fragrance wood. People call cedar, sometimes people call mahogany, sometimes people call aloes wood. So it will be a joy to share this with you. So come by.